Good evening, and welcome to the Immersive Experience, a podcast about you, for you, from you. And tonight we talk about mastering the art of relationships. And ma'am, could you go ahead and introduce yourself for me, please?
Hi, I am Courtney J. Sam, and I am excited to be here. I've known our girl Desi for quite some time, so it's just nice just to see what you're doing, girl. Like you are literally killing it right now. I love listening to your podcast.
It's a lot. Thank you so much. And you know what? I want to be honest with you because you inspire me so.
Really?
You inspire, yeah, girl. What? I'm always in your inbox.
I'm like, oh gosh.
I am always in your inbox. Like I mean that. I be meaning that shit. You be showing out. Like I love that. So
Thank you.
you also just created a exercise. Like
Yes, it's still in the works, so it hasn't been like put out on social media just yet. I'm still working on it, and I'm trying to find dancers and things like that. But it's called anime aerobics. I'm a big nerd. I love anime, and I just feel like I have fun just getting hyped up to anime music, especially when I'm working out. And I love to dance, so I was like, you know what? Why not do like fun aerobic dance routines to anime music and make it like a thing. So anime aerobics is coming soon. I haven't quite mastered it yet, like trying to find the time to like film and get the dancers going, but it's coming. It's coming soon.
okay, do you still do theater?
No, I don't. I wish I would have continued with that. I love acting. I'm more of like a behind the scenes person. I'm more of a writer. So I like to write, whether it's like books or like manuscripts. I do that type of thing.
Okay, okay. I didn't even know you were interested in that. Hold on.
Oh, yes. Oh, we have a third guest.
Yes.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We
Okay,
can't
wonderful.
see you. Is this intentional?
No, girl, I'm green on me. I'm laying back in the bed.
Okay, okay. Well, you could go ahead and introduce yourself. I mean, I'm sure they all know who you are.
It's me, the girl with the big lashes. Hi. I'm not lashing, so that's another reason why I'm in the dark, baby. I went from glamorous lashes and wigs to bonnet and no lashes. So I'm chilling.
Okay, no lashes. That's okay. You don't gotta have no lashes on for
No
us.
face, no case.
No
Okay.
face, no case. I love it.
We're not gonna make no case out of you, baby. Trust me. Trust me. Not that we trying to. Or we might be trying to because
Crazy.
we could take it there. Take it there. So I thank y'all for coming on today. We're gonna talk about mastering the art of relationships. I could just make this a real 1 minute thing to tell you the answer now. But I'm not. I want you to struggle with it first. No, I'm just joking. But I do want to ask y'all, like, what is a
Just clean yourself
relationship?
up.
What's a relationship to you?
What's a relationship? Oh, um, I feel like a relationship to me, it takes like different forms because there's all types of different relationships. Like you have the romantic relationships, you have like the friendship relationships, then you also have like the family relationships, right? So I feel like there are just so many different forms of what a relationship can be. Um, but if we're going, I feel like a relationship for me, whether it's romantic or familial or friendship wise, I feel like it has to be something where you're able to invest in your time and energy and yourself with that person. Like you feel like you can trust that person wholeheartedly, and and you feel like they can with you. Like it's a reciprocal thing. I feel like being vulnerable, like you have to have a meaningful relationship and build a strong foundation. You got to be able to be vulnerable and be truthful and stand in your truth with that person. So I feel like it takes so many different forms. Like I can go on all day about it, but like a relationship with, for me, is just being able to be your authentic self with someone else and they are the same with you.
I agree with that. I like that. What about you? Oh, what about you? No,
I'm
no.
here. I'm sorry. I'm over here fussing at Island. I agree. And just to piggyback off that, I think another thing for me, and when it comes to a relationship, is like my safe place. It's my safe place. It's
Yeah.
my venting place. My, of course, where I can be vulnerable space, because that's hard for a lot of us to be able to let go and be able to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
In my ideal relationship, I would like to be vulnerable. I would like to be submissive. I would like, it's like that judge free, all in
Yeah.
situation relationship. So she said everything I was gonna say, but just to
Okay,
piggyback off that,
she
my safe place.
did.
But I
Should
like
have
the
just
way you
left.
said that too, because literally just being able to, your relationships with people, that should be your peace. Like, you already
Hmm.
have like so much disruption and chatter from other people outside of your circle. So your circle should always be like your peace. Like you should not be drained when you're around these people, and you should just be able to just relax, and then you feel just like carefree, and you're like, okay, like this is it. Like I'm coming from a stressful day at work, and I go home and I'm around my circle, and like you're just like, I'm at peace. And I like the way you said that. I didn't even think about that either. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of it sometimes because safety, I don't think a lot of people, and I mean, like, I don't want to just separate it into sexes, male or female. I think that a lot of people don't get to experience having emotional safe places. So I feel
Yes.
like that's why we always up in arms. We're always up in defense. We ready to defend our emotions because
Yeah.
everybody nowhere was ever a safe place for us. I think about how people would, let's say, if an authority figure got mad at you and they would come at you and they would ask you a question and then they'll say, you know what, don't answer it. I already know the answer.
Mm.
And you sitting there like, dang, maybe you don't know the answer. Like, I like to tell you what it is. Or if they get on you for cussing, but then you tell them, oh my God, but you're cussing. You don't,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times it's about how we mirror what's in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have to be more lenient with what we allow to be in our circle because that's how we become so harsh with ourselves. Because if we allow everybody else to forget who we are, they're gonna in turn allow us to forget who we are.
Mm-hmm. I like that. You right.
So,
Hmm.
Did it
okay.
take you just like, dealing with a lot of different relationships of your own for you to come to that sense of self on how to navigate that? Like, how did you come to that conclusion?
It's experience from like experience as well, but
Mm-hmm.
also the things that I saw around me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I feel like before I started experiencing it, I didn't have to go through it so much simply
Mm-hmm.
because I saw it. Like I saw the cycle ahead of me already. Like, okay, if I allow this, everything that I walked into, I was already aware of what I was walking into.
Mm-hmm.
So I always like I don't know. Like I say, it's a journey, not a destination, right?
Yeah.
So I just take it one step at a time. And if I'm able to see ahead of what's coming ahead of me and I understand where I'm standing in that moment, I'm I'm kind of like trying to brace myself for the impact.
Mm-hmm.
And so something clicked in my mind and was just kind of like you're only preparing for the fail.
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm.
do you prepare to succeed?
Mm-hmm.
And that's with anything in life for me. When do you start
Like
preparing to
that.
succeed? How long are you gonna let fear keep you from crossing over the line because oh my God, I don't want to be too vulnerable? Or for me, I had a fear, I was scared of my emotions. Like literally like, oh, it's easier to be hard up than to let you in. Like,
Yeah.
what you mean? Tell you what?
Yep.
Yeah,
Facts.
so
I felt that.
that was
Facts.
just and yeah, it was a series of things, I believe. So just
Mm-hmm.
even searching within myself, like not just relationships with other people, but and family, friends, everything brings you to this. I had so many. I don't think people understand how a friendship can affect you the same way um a romantic relationship can affect you.
Mm-hmm.
Because falling out those type of relationships, like that's all I knew. Like, what you mean? That was my friend. I don't got nobody to
Yeah.
call. It take away a lot of stuff from you. So,
Yeah. I feel
but
I
like a
just think
lot of the
a
time.
relationship is a relationship, no matter who it's with, though.
Yeah.
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 So that's
Absolutely.
where them feelings come in, and like, because I agree with you, man. You both know, like, we done lost friends over the years, and it's like, dang, you know, just feel weird not being able to call them or hearing their voice or them being around. It definitely affects you the same. It's the
Yeah.
exact. It's just the only thing. I think the only difference is it's not like nothing sexual there,
Yeah.
but like
Mm-hmm.
the feelings, the emotions, all that stuff is like really really similar.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree. Cause I know I take I don't know what it is. Like if I like lose a romantic relationship, like I am, down in the dumps about it and everything. But like it's something about losing like a friendship. Like I take that so much harder. I don't know what it is. Like I feel like I'm in a grieving process. I actually just had a friendship that ended this summer, and I usually do take the loss of a friendship super hard, but I feel like I sensed the friendship was ending. Like I feel like we were just kind of changing. And it wasn't like it ended kind of like badly, but not really. It was just more so I'm over this friendship type of thing. And I think I was upset for probably like 30 minutes. And then afterwards, I was like, I'm not really as upset as I thought because I felt the grieving process already prior to us ending it. Like I felt it just happening over the course of time. And I just didn't want to be the one to end it. Like I didn't know how to end it because I put so much time and effort into that friendship, and the person felt like a sister to me or whatever. But like it got to the point where we were just going on two opposite roads, and I was like, usually I feel like I'm becoming such a different person now than what I was before, because before I would just take things so hardly, like and now I'm just like I'm losing sleep and energy over a person who's probably not even losing sleep and energy over me. And then that's kind of the mentality that I've been having as of lately. Like I'm not trying to put too much into a person who I felt like in my heart of hearts that we weren't a good fit. Hmm.
And then it don't feel good when that energy not being reciprocated too.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, I had that's right. You know, my ex best friend. I call my ex best friend. I feel
Hmm.
like honestly, that's what we were. Like I was sensing it before it happened. But in my situation it was a little different because when it did happen, I was still like devastated. Like it bothered me for a while because we
Hmm.
talking over 10 plus years of friendship.
Yeah.
We was around before we both had our kids. Our daughter's birthdays are literally exactly 2 weeks apart.
Oh.
So yeah, and that definitely took a toll because like my friendships are determined on like have we really been through hell or high water together? To me, that's what determines my friendships. Have we actually been through something? I could
So,
sit next somebody could sit next to you all day and say, "Oh, I'm your friend. I'm your friend. I'm your friend to the end." But you lose your crib. Are you still there? If I'm
mhm.
broke, if I lose my car, if I lose my job, if I hit, I'm going through a grieving phase. Are you still there? Are you, I'm not asking you to hold me by my hand throughout all this. I mean, that'd be nice, but I need to know that you're there through thick and thin, literally.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of those moments. So when the friendship came to an end, it was a lot on me emotionally and mentally because it's like, what am I supposed to do now? It's always been us. Like that was always it's always us, never them. And then now it's like it's not even us no more. Like that it takes its toll. That's why I say a relationship is a relationship.
Yeah.
And they all affect you the same when they have to end it, Of course you're not expecting it, but you have to accept it.
Hmm. Yeah.
I agree with that. I want to know how aware of yourself are you usually in a relationship? That they say, can you press mute, Narissa?
I'm sorry, I got the water on my bed.
Yeah.
I feel winding down for the night.
Can you repeat the question?
How how often do you feel yourself being aware of yourself when you're in a relationship?
Oh gosh. So I I feel like I'm becoming more and more aware now because now I'm 32. So now I feel like I'm just getting at a point in my life where I'm getting too old to repeat the same cycle. You know, like I'm in therapy, so like, you know, I make it a mission to like speak with my therapist on like how to not repeat old toxic behaviors and things like that. Because before I feel like I would ignore, like I would see it, like the red flags flat, like right in my face, and I'm just like, nah, like, you know, there's a green flag back there somewhere. Like I see it, it's in the distance, like, you know. And so I feel like I feel like I wasn't aware, or if I was aware, I was ignoring it, like, you know, because I was just like, I invested again so much time in this person that, and I know what they had the potential to be and the potential that we have with each other and all that stuff, that like I ignore just the reality of the situation. Like I'm just like, I'm not happy in this relationship, this romantic relationship or this friendship. Or there's, you know, they say blood is thicker than water, but sometimes like blood is not everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there are
Mm-hmm.
family members that like I don't even talk to, you know? So I'm just like, but they expect me to be there like that or something like that. So I'm just like, I feel like I'm at that sense of self now where I am starting to recognize red flags and things like that. And I'm like, okay, I know this is not going to serve me because I know how I am when I invest my time. Like if I know my triggers and things like that. So it's like now I feel a lot better. And I feel like I'm doing better. I'm not 100% like solid yet, but I'm getting there. Is what I'm saying. Because before, if you would have talked to 20-year-old Courtney in her 20s, I'm like ignoring the red flags every step of the way. But now I'm just like, okay, like think about that little, there's a little feeling, like you're feeling that little feeling in your gut. Like, why do you have that feeling? Is it something like something warning you? Like you're like, okay, this is not going to be for you. This isn't serving you. Or is it maybe you are afraid of becoming vulnerable? Because I do have a problem with my emotions too. And just being able to be vulnerable with a lot of people. I have trust issues and it stems from the way I was raised and things like that. But I'm working on it. I feel like therapy has definitely helped me a lot. 1000%.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's that's a good thing though. So the more you become aware of yourself, I think that tells you exactly where you want to be in a relationship, how you want to be treated in a relationship. I think self awareness is very important in all aspects of your life. So you know how you're coming off, or you know people when you're around a person who kind of like, oh, ooh, they snooty, they stuck up. Like you can tell the difference because you like, oh, they don't know how to relax, or they got a stick up their butt or something like. But I think the more you get comfortable with yourself, the more you're able to understand the situations that you're in. Then you can be more aware of your habits, your mannerisms, or your feelings, or what you're looking at that time. I, and I and I think like seriously, that's the answer to mastering any relationship. Like
Mm-hmm.
being aware of yourself, and that's also going to tell you what to get into, what not to get into, because those are the things that you're feeling or you're understanding. Like you said, you kept seeing red flag, red flag, red flag. Maybe there's a green one back there in the distance, but it's going to hurt you too much to get to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's even with friendships too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Like younger me definitely, didn't have no boundaries. Um, so a lot of stuff that I would let fly then, like you said, 20-year-old Narissa was accepting a lot. 34-year-old Narissa not here for none of that. But I had to learn those boundaries through trial and error, through, certain situations arising. Like as bad as, I know even when it comes to my daughter, even people in general around me, like as bad as I would like to be able to tell you, like, hey, look, don't do that, or that's gonna happen. Sometimes it's just better if that lesson is self taught. Like that's the best to me. That's the best way to learn. Self teaching. because who could teach you better than you? You understand it and comprehend it and digest it better when you taught. I feel like when you taught it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Some people like if you like what kind of learner are you?
I am a repetitive learner. You got to show it to me a few times before it really just kind
But
of
you
kick
like
in.
you hands on, visual,
Yeah, hands
auditory.
on. Definitely
Is
hands
that
on.
what's a kinetic? What is that? Kinesthetic? What is it, y'all?
I don't know. I'm like, girl, what?
One of them. But however, I think that's kind of how it is. I feel like for a lot of people, it's a lot of different ways for us to learn, right? So
Hmm.
I always talk about how my senses have always been in overload. They just a dark room, no nothing. It just feels good to me. When Superman, his hearing, when it was out of whack, he was trying to, and you know I only got one ear, so
Tell me so I just got
so
one ear.
trying to
Bye.
listen it be a little tough, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, oh, I gotta focus, and it's like when you don't got your glasses on and you're driving, so you gotta turn the music down so you can see. It's weird. No,
The facts. Like, hold on, I'm looking for this address. Turn the music down.
yes, like
I'm the
yo,
same. I'm the same.
you be out of whack. You're out of whack. So I feel like it's about trying to center yourself, finding that one place where you could be balanced enough to understand, okay, right, I need this here, I need this here, I need that there, because you finding all these tools that work for you. But if you got somebody that come in and they take all the best parts of you, that's what we do. We run around talking, I gotta find myself. Like I lost me, where did I go, where did I put me?
That is deep. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You gotta really have something to hold on to. I tell people all the time, like I'm self-aware, but I'm open minded. So no matter how many pirouettes they used to make me do, always find a mark. That's how I look at it. Always find your mark and spin as much as you want to. But as long as you keep sight of who you are, where you came from, what went into you, what's coming out of you, how could you not be sure of you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I got kicked out.
I don't know what happened. I
That
thought
was
you.
me
Oh,
trying
I
to
was gonna say
do
I
something
thought you
else.
did
I'm
that.
like,
I
oh,
was
I
like,
kicked
where'd you
myself out,
go?
Lord.
But and and that's why I think like we don't talk like that, and I talk to Nunu every day. You know what I'm saying? But to see you flourish, to see you come into your own person, like even though our relationship was way back then, like
Mm-hmm.
it's good to see you come into this person. I just remember I have so many memories of you, so many like,
Ugh.
and I think I just no, like they not bad. I just always it's just one of those things where you kind of see people where me and Nuna, we always talk about having expectations of people of how I'm putting me on that person. And so even on your worst day back in high school, I could still see you. It didn't like it never mattered how far you thought you were down. And so relationships don't work if we don't see our value.
Mm-hmm.
And most days we had days where I didn't know how valuable I was because I was thinking, oh, I'm too fat, or oh, I'm too black, or nobody wants me like you, and you don't, and you already put so much into you. You so much, there's so much more to you than just this. When Erica Badu said my power transcends this, all of this shit, hey baby, I felt that shit. Like, I'm more than just this person. And in a relationship, I need that to be taken into account.
Mm-hmm. I
So
like that. I like that. And it's all I know. I remember actually just kind of picking back off of what you said about like, in high school and when you were younger, period, that you would be like, I'm too fat or I'm too black or this, and you weren't, it's all about self love, right? And I know like, I remember I attended my godson's, he's 5, but he just graduated pre K back in May. So I got to attend his little pre-K graduation, but like the principal gave like a speech, and she was just basically saying that even though people don't really talk about it, she said that these are like the fundamental, like she believes that these years when they're this young are like the fundamental years, because like this is like the time where they're like really like starting to learn and like kind of like grasping things at such a young age or whatever. And it kind of hit me because I remember talking to my godson's mom about it later, and I was like, at that age, like when you're young, you don't realize that you're experiencing trauma. And it could be like something like major. It could be like something major, or it could be something minimal, but like it's like major to you at that time or something like that. And it all like kind of like develops you the older you get. And I remember just thinking when I was younger, my self love, I'm literally 32 now, and I'm just now like developing my self love skills. It took me all my life to like develop this. And when I was talking to my friend, I was just basically saying that it kind of stemmed from whether the adults in my life knew it or not, like some of the comments that they would make towards me that made me just kind of hate myself, and things like that. And it kind of just like made me not embrace, the physical part of me, self love, or it made me just kind of want to stand in the shadows. And like, I'm still best friends with my high school best friends to this day. But like, even then, I would just put them to the forefront. And like, if you look at pictures, like I'm kind of just hiding in the background, kind of like it's really, I feel like that self hate that I had for myself, that it all stemmed from childhood and like just comments and things that were made and said that stuck with me, that made me feel like I was unworthy. And it wasn't just from kids, like it was literally from like grown ass adults in my life. So it just had me thinking like those feelings the things that they made me feel back then went into my relationships with people and how I interacted with them, and like the people that I would date. And, I would know that this isn't good enough for me. Like I said before, like I would see like the red flags, but I felt so unworthy of being loved and unworthy of being like a priority, that I would just settle for these unhealthy relationships, and I would not hold up boundaries for myself. And, I honestly feel like it all starts with childhood. Like, and I know, sorry, just I'm rambling a little bit, but just to go into it a little bit more, like my godson, I remember, he's 5, we're playing downstairs, and his mom is like my best friend. So I'm like literally always at their house, like playing with them and everything, him and his older brother. And so he's at that age where he just does the dumbest things. So he pretends to fart all the time. But one day he comes by me, he actually does fart on me. So I remember his nickname is Tinky, and I just remember be like, ugh, Stinky Tinky. And me and his older brother literally just like, Stinky Tinky. But he was getting so upset. And he went upstairs, and I was like, bye, Tinky, I love you. He didn't want to say back. And I made him come back downstairs to say it. Like, come here, say you love Coco, whatever. And then he's like, I love you. And then he goes upstairs. He's still grouchy. So when he comes back downstairs, I ask him, like, hey, why? Okay, I want to know why you're acting this way. Like, did I do, like, tell me what I did? And then he told me that I hurt his feelings when I called him that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I just did something that my uncle and like like would do to me back when I was little. And he would call me, I was the only one that had a nickname in my family pertaining to my weight and my appearance. Everybody else had like cute little nicknames, and then I had Fatty Batty, like that's literally what they called me. And that used to just put me like in this dark place when I was a child, and it like messed with me. So when he said that, I was like, oh my god, like I don't want to repeat these toxic behaviors. If he's telling me that this is how he feels, I need to stop calling him that. And I apologized to him because I was like, I feel like I feel like a lot of adults feel like they don't want to apologize to their children, or they're like, I'm grown, whatever. But like, I feel like it's important to let them know that you hear them and that you're sorry. That way they can learn to be empathetic and understand, like, oh my God, I hurt you, I'm sorry. So I apologized to him and let him know that I wouldn't do that ever again. And I would make sure to like respect boundaries, and that was his boundary. So I just feel like starting like today's youth, I feel like we got to do better with like just acknowledging children and their feelings and treating them better. And because trauma, whether it's something as minuscule as like a nickname or something like that, like it can go a long way into affecting your relationships the older you get. Sorry, I rambled, but it really just what you said really stuck with me. Cause I was like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what?
Well,
That's real common. Like in the with the back in the day raising, like everything was hush hush. Do as I
Mm-hmm.
say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, kids wasn't allowed to have feelings. What they would say, feelings. You're not old enough to have feelings. Go sit down somewhere. And that's not
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
Just like your nephew walked up on you and vocalized like back in the day, he could have never done that.
Mm-hmm.
He would have got
Mm-hmm.
whooping because you don't express how you feel to me. Excuse me, I'm under the dog. That's how they thought back then. Now
Yes.
kids are we all on this line is over 30, so we know like
okay.
we
No,
was not allowed to
I
feel.
agree.
We
Yep.
was not allowed to express ourselves. God
Yep.
forbid if we told a parent like, I didn't like that. Instead of them and like you did, you instead of them embracing it, accepting it, and not doing it, it was you not allowed to have no feelings. You disrespectful. Go sit
Mm-hmm.
down some damn where. How dare you?
Yeah.
And that's what started. That's what will begin that trauma. Now it's not only do I have to endure being called out of my name and mistreated, I got to shut the fuck up about it. That's
Mm-hmm.
how that trauma
Mm-hmm.
starts.
Yep.
So it's good that nowadays, like our generation of parents, we don't practice that type of stuff with our kids. I know I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would never tell not to do as I say, not as I do. That's the worst thing that a parent could have ever told a child. Do as I say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm. I feel
Yeah,
like
that's
you
that's
just
definitely
saying
where
that
that
too.
starts. Yeah.
No, what you just saying that too. Like literally, do what I say, not don't do what I say, not as. Gosh, I'm getting a tongue tied. Do what I say, not at what I do, or is that how the phrase
Do
goes?
as I say, not as I do.
Yes, I feel like that is deep because even then, I know his mom mentioned to me. She was like, "Court, another thing, because I love that you like apologized to him and blah 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 blah." But she was like, another thing I noticed is that with him, you made him say "I love you." Like we know he loves you or whatever, but at that moment he did not feel like saying it, and it hit me again because when we were younger, adults would be like, that's your auntie this or uncle that or whatever. Say "I love you" and whatever. Like like we were told to like respect our elders, which is fine. Like if they say hello or whatever. But like that weird thing of like making them say "I love you," even though whatever, like not to do that. And I was like another thing of like repeating like the generational curses thing, which like again like affects your relationships and the older you get because you're like, okay, so if I don't feel like saying I love you in this moment, but I'm being forced to say I love you or something like that, well, okay, now I know and I'm recognizing like, okay, when I'm older and I'm in some type of relationship, I can say I love you knowing I don't feel it. And like it again, it just goes into like
That's
the
where that trauma started. Now
exactly.
you
So you
practicing
saying that.
stuff because of how you was brought up and not because of how you actually feel.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's deep.
I like
it
this.
definitely is.
Okay, like
That's deep though. Like people, my relationship with my siblings. Like when me and one of my brothers was going back and forth one day, and I'm like, listen, the way we was brought up, it was not okay.
Mm-hmm.
We was not supposed to grow up believing that you're not allowed to feel, you're not allowed to express yourself, you're not allowed to tell an adult when they've hurt your feelings or even when they've done something wrong. I see adults get corrected by kids all the time. People think because they have not been here as long as us that they don't know as much as us, and they don't. But they still are very observant, and they have their own sense of like intuition and like little senses of discernment. Like they know right from wrong. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And it's just so I love how parents of the majority of parents of this generation don't practice the old habits that our parents practice as far as
Mm-hmm.
being negligent to how you may make a child feel or how a child feels in general.
Yeah.
It's not that because I know I grew up off of tough love, and I have to catch myself sometimes like, okay, you can't you can't teach her this lesson this way because that's how you was taught.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff, it's good that with our generation of parents, and we're changing that dynamic of, giving kids that open floor to be able to express themselves, judge free zone, or you don't have to worry about being disciplined because you have the right to express the way you feel just as well as I do as an adult and as your parent.
Mhm.
I mean, of course, we're not gonna lead it off into disrespect. Now that's a whole different subject. But
Right.
of course, kids deserve to be able to express themselves, and that would ultimately, I feel like, stop that chain of trauma. Like, I could go to my mama and talk to my mom about this, and she not gonna judge me. She not gonna discipline me. She not gonna shut me out. And that's how you be. That's how you build that healthy relationship instead of that trauma childhood relationship. Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I can't even go to my mom and tell her this, and that's when they get to being rebellious. It leads to so many different messed up things when your child does not have that safe place that we I mentioned in the beginning, that safe place to be able to open up about any and everything.
Yeah.
I love the relationship that Desiree has with her mother. Like, she literally tells her mother any and everything. Like, I remember you even telling me your mama was the first person you told when you lost your virginity.
She
Mhm.
That's
was.
major because
For
my
real.
mama definitely wasn't the first person I told when I lost my virginity because I couldn't.
Same.
Yeah. I
I'm
sure did.
envious of that because my mom and I we're in such a better place now. But we had to have like this deep conversation about a year ago around this time or so, and we had to just talk about everything, right? And my mom had me when she was 18. So, and she like did the best that she could, and she didn't realize that she was also like repeating her own trauma and everything like that or whatever. And like she was not a horrible mother whatsoever, but like emotionally, like it just wasn't there. And we talked about everything, we put everything out there because I did not feel close to her like growing up. Like I feel like once I got to junior high, maybe high school, I feel like I just started distancing myself. And then like once I moved out on my own, it just was not there for us. And I remember just saying that to some of my friends. I was just like, the one thing I want to do before I leave this earth is I want to mend my relationship with my mom and my sister. Like, because I feel like if it's the end of the world, and I would like to be near my mom. Like, I don't know why, but to me in my head I feel like that should be my peace, my comfort zone. When it's the end of the world, I'm just like,
Hmm.
okay, or something like that. Like I would want to be near the woman that gave birth to me or whatever. So I was just like, this is a relationship I really want to just try to mend. And so we had that tough conversation. I told her how I felt growing up. She apologized. She told me how she felt with some of my behaviors. I apologized and moved on from it. So now I feel like this is the relationship that I value so much that I'm like, I told her I don't want to talk about the past anymore. Like, this is me trying to put it all out there. We mended it, and then I'm like, I want to leave it behind me because now I just want to work on my future with you. And I feel like the fact that you were able to like grow up and you have like such a close relationship with your mom, I wish I had that, but like, I'm trying to make up for it now. So it's all good.
Yeah. And it'll come. I mean, you could still have those. She might not be the first, but you still get to have those conversations with her and everything.
Hmm.
Cedric said that life and death lies in the tongue. I really do believe that that's true in a relationship as well. Even when Narissa, you was talking about how with your daughter, you gotta tell her, I gotta lead by example more than I just
Yeah.
tell you don't do that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I need to
So
show you why. Maybe it's a situation where I need to show you why. Because
yeah.
kids, the first thing, what's the first thing kids say? We say, you tell them, hey, don't do this. Well, why? They want to know
Okay.
why. Like,
Yeah.
why are you so against that? So
Yeah.
definitely, and leading by example would definitely fit right into that. Like, okay, I'm gonna show you why.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's that matching energy. Even in any relationship that you in, I want somebody that's gonna see me how I see them.
I
I
like
want you to
that.
treat me how I want to be treated. Don't just treat me
Hmm.
how you think you supposed to treat me. Like,
Yeah.
see me, and when you see me, you'll understand how you supposed to handle me, how you supposed to care about me. Like, and I think that's even with children, we know that.
Hmm.
My mama was like the best. I don't know, like she was the best as a child. Like, I don't
Hmm.
think you could get. I praise that lady all the time for the way I came up, for the way she raised me, for everything that she did for me. Like we felt some
Oh,
shit, but we ain't feel no shit. You feel me? Like,
yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
that's how I always see it. That's how I always equate it. But like as you get older, it's just kind of like finding the pattern of yourself, understanding. Oh, okay, I see. When your godson made you aware of how you hurt his feelings, it was more of, okay, that's the pattern of me, and you was able to associate it with something way back then, or how you see how Narissa was able to go back and say, oh, hey, look, brother, we wasn't supposed to be treated like this. We gotta want
Mhm.
better for ourselves. But am I repeating this cycle? How am I repeating this cycle? How do I pull myself out of that? And if you could be aware of you like that at all times, there's no relationship that you're not gonna get into that's not gonna be to your satisfaction. That's not gonna be in your alignment. You're gonna always know when to walk away. Because you know what you want to feel. You know what you want to see.
I like that.
And
Yeah.
that's definitely something that I feel like like we said at the beginning, that you learn over time. You begin to create those boundaries. You begin to know.
Mm-hmm.
You begin to learn. You're not born knowing your self worth. You
Yeah.
learn it over time. Life teaches you your self worth. God will put people in your life to show you your self worth, whether it's good or bad, whether they become a bad example. You learn from, like, okay, well, I know I don't want to be treated like that again. Or if he sends somebody in your life that treats you like a queen and shows like this is how you deserve to be treated. It
Yeah.
just all come with life lessons, trial and error.
I agree.
I agree.
Okay, y'all got any final words? Anything y'all want to say to the people?
Mm.
Shop Queen's Closet. Book your next event,
Okay.
QC Studio.
Yes.
Period.
You gotta be on the lookout for you. Whenever you get your video done with your anime aerobics, I'm
Yes.
in. I want to try. I don't dance too often. I mean, I can shake my little tail or whatever, but
Come on, shake my little tail. Come on, Texas.
No.
I can shake a tail feather or whatever the case may be. But like dancing,
Period.
baby, I might hurt myself.
Man, I feel so awkward. Like I feel like I'm not the best dancer, but I just have so much fun. I find it therapeutic. So if you guys, I guess I will be posting my content on my YouTube and TikTok. My
Okay.
social media platforms are all under the same name, Courtney J. Sam. So follow me on TikTok or YouTube or whatever. That's where I'm going to be posting a lot of my content. So there you go. I love to make videos and all that jazz. And I am working on a
Nice.
book, by the way, Desi. So I'm gonna try to get this self-published as well because I'm trying to manifest it. 2024 is going to be self-published. So yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Nice.
your book? Is it a biography?
No. So my biggest passion in life, besides working with children, is writing, and I love to read. So I want to. I love to read, like, I don't know, like I love Harry Potter type books. Like I love fantasy and things like
Okay.
that. Whether it's like for adult fantasy or if it's like, young adult fantasy, either or. But like I love reading that type of stuff. Um, so I was like, I never see things with like people that look like me in these lead roles. I was never really into the romancy type of books growing up. Like I liked my romance in it, but like I liked a lot of the fantastical type of things. So I was like, I want to see books with people that look like me in like the fantasy world type of thing. Like, oh, we could be witches and oh, we could be, like vampires or whatever. So I'm working on something about um, this girl. She can see and talk to the dead, and there's a
Mm.
prophecy that by her 21st birthday, she will raise the dead, which will feed on the living, i.e., the zombie apocalypse. So she, yeah, it's a whole thing. I'm working on it. It has a lot of Egyptian folklore and things like that. So I'm like, I'm trying to put it all together, but that's my thing. So that's something I'm manifesting for 2024, putting it
Okay,
out
girl,
there.
period.
Okay, I was gonna say that sound right up your alley, girl. She all with the horror, like
You feel me?
Yes.
see, you know me,
I'm
I'm
waiting
quick
on the
to
books
act
to
like
drop.
I'm and on any horror.
I'm on my little horror film hunting now. We got the Nun coming out. I don't
Yes.
see nothing else. But yeah, this is the only time of year you'll really catch me going to the show. Halloween season.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I love horror
She's
movies that much.
serious.
Me too. Halloween's my favorite holiday, and then like October, my birthday, and then I'm just like everything about horror movies. I'm there, so I
Yeah,
get you.
yeah. Every horror, like I could watch all
Yes,
the Insidious, the Nun, all that. I could watch the stuff over and over. I
yes,
don't know why. I don't know why. I guess I'm just dark like
The
that.
jump factor for
yeah.
me is it's not. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to be doing. I don't
Oh
want to
my
go through
God, me
all
and
that.
Desiree used to be in the crib.
I am good. Like,
Desiree gonna do one or two things. She gonna scream at every little thing, or she
oh
gonna
my
roll over and
god,
go to sleep. It's no in between. Like she everything. Ah! I be like, Desiree, ain't that even happened?
cause I be trying to prepare myself. I be trying to prep
I
myself.
just try
Like,
to make her what I know. You gotta watch this scary movie, G. She's like, all
Yes.
right, and she roll, girl, pull that cover over, roll right over on my ass.
Oh my gosh, my best
y'all
friend
be trying to
Terry is
set
the
me up for
same
the okey
way.
doke.
Have you ever? Okay, since you just before we even end this, but I gotta know, like, have you ever seen what is the name of that movie? It's such a hit. Ah, no, it's like the Asian zombie movie that everybody loves. Like, I know you had to have seen it. You like zombie movies, right? Like, what is it called?
Is it? Is
Asian
Train to
it
zombie.
the?
Busan.
What is it?
Train to Busan.
I
No,
think
I never
it is.
seen that
Yes,
one.
Oh my
I
god,
yes.
you
haven't
gotta
seen
look
that
it
one.
up. You gotta watch it. Oh my god, you gotta watch it. That
Okay.
is my
You
favorite
should
zombie
watch
movie
it.
I have ever seen.
It is a good one. It's a good
Yes,
one. I
so
thought
good.
World War Z was that. What was that one? That was a
Oh,
good
that's
one.
the one with Brad Pitt. That was good too.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I got the book.
I'm more into the um like not the zombies, but
Mm.
like it like the Insidiouses.
Oh, like
Like it
the demon e. Oh,
yeah, like I don't
yes.
know. I need to stop that. That's not good spiritually,
The
but I
demonic
love those type of
possession.
I like them demonic possessed, like deep, dark, demonic. Oh my God, what the hell? Like, yeah.
I
Like the
like
first,
those
it was the
too.
first nun for
Yeah,
me. I'm like, this movie not even scary. It's just so demonic.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
No,
extremely demonic. Like that's what makes it scary. Like, oh my God, these people out
it's
here
yep.
the
really
No,
like
jump
no.
demonic
I
factors
shit.
feel
for
the same
me.
way, Narissa.
It's the
Literally, because like I'm like I love watching those, and then afterward, it's just like then, like you said, they don't even be scary, but then it's like the
When you
thought of
done
it, like
watching
the
it, it fuck
demonic
with you,
stuff.
right?
Yes, and I'm like, I remember one time I was watching. It was like, oh, I forgot. It's some like something house. I don't know. It's something on Netflix. It's like this little TV show, and it has this family that moves into this house, and there's ghosts and
The
all
house
over the
is
place. And then
possessed. Yeah,
yes. So I remember
that's my
after I
shit right
finished
there.
that, I had to get my nephew, like the eldest nephew, I had to get him. I was like, come sleep with me. Like he was like 2 at the time. I was like, come on, like we just gonna cuddle. You can sleep in Auntie Coco.
You know what? I have done that with Nana before. I'm like, Nana, come get to bed with me.
Yes,
see,
I'm
and
just
that's why I
like,
don't even mess around with the mess around. Cause
But
who
you
the
know
hell
what?
come sleep with me? Nobody.
You you know what
Nobody.
it really comes down to for me? I'm true, and my daddy said I'm psycho for this, but I don't care. I'm truly not scared of nothing. I'm not scared of nothing or nobody. So when I find something that actually scares me, I get intrigued by it, and I want to see more because
right?
I'm not scared of nothing.
Why is it like that?
I don't know. It's like I want to chat. Like I'm not scared of nothing. It's
I
like
was
I
just
want to
about to say
something
that.
down here got to scare me. Let me
Your
watch
mind
this.
looking for the next challenge.
It's
What's
like I'm looking
challenging?
for that thrill of being scared
Yes.
because I don't
Yeah,
get scared.
Yep. Yep. Same.
that's it.
Yes.
That's how you. It's like I always say, like the little smart ass kid in school, and you was always bad because wasn't nothing they was doing challenging enough. It was just kind of like, oh, okay.
Mm.
This is easy. I could do this in my sleep. They call on you, you still know the answer. Girl, I was paying attention, but I wasn't. All right. Stop. My teachers used to hate me for that shit. Leave me alone. But yes, thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. Nunu, you always come through. Miss
Period. You know I
Courtney,
got you.
whenever you ready to come through again, I
All
love
right.
talking to you. Y'all both had some great perspectives. Oh my gosh. Thank
It was
y'all.
so
Like,
fun.
I
I liked
appreciate it.
hearing the both of you guys give your perspective too. I was like, okay, Narissa's dropping facts. What?
I like
Like,
deep
yes.
people. I like deep people, baby.
Yeah.
I am a creature of my own depth, and she understand
Mhm.
me to my core. So I never like what.
I like it.
I'm
Yes.
good.
I
Yeah.
love the energy. I love the energy.
Okay. But thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great evening. Tune in
You too,
next week.
girl.
Okay. I'll talk to you later,
Bye.
love.
Okay,
See ya.
loves.